In 1998, Dr. Zanila S. Sametchev last saw these empty mountains in eastern Kazakhstan. Now, in the summer of 2018, he has gone back. Archaeologists have been digging up kurgans, which are piles of stone and dirt that are linked to graves from more than 2,500 years ago. Over the years, Sametchev and his team have found some amazing things. But what they find this summer is truly amazing. Archaeologists found a tomb that was over 2,700 years old and was full of strange remains. The intricate kurgans were made by a group of people called the Saka. People think that the Scythians and the Saka were very close to each other. The Saka and the Scythians both come from earlier groups of people called the Karaic and the Andronovo. About 3,500 years ago, the Karaic lived in Eurasia with their people. What about the Andronovo? They lived in Central Eurasia during the Bronze Age, which started about 4,000 years ago. Kurgans were used to bury the dead by the Saka, the Karaic, and the Andronovo. In the mountains of Siberia, not far from the border with Kazakhstan, there is a major historical site that has helped us learn about the Saka people. In 1929, the researcher Hampeek Rasanov found the first of a group of kurgans in this area. The Pasyryk graves are what these kurgans are now called. The Siberian ice fields princess, Sarah Gerudenko, an archaeologist, dug up 4 more kurgans at the Pasyryk site in the late 1940s. Even though thieves had broken into the graves before, the experts found some interesting artifacts. Some of the most amazing things that were found were woven rugs, cloth saddles, and even a standing chariot with 4 wheels. The kurgan with the preserved body of the Princess of Yukok is the most famous thing that the Saka found at the Pasyryk site. The archaeologist Natalia Polazmak found this mummy in 1993. It is called the Siberian Ice Lady by the public. The kurgan is almost 10 feet tall and was built in the 5th century BC. Ice and snow kept the Ice Lady and her tomb safe for more than 2,400 years. The princess's remains were found in perfect condition, and the Ice Maiden's intricate tattoos, which cover most of her body, are without a question her best feature. The strange animals in these tattoos blend into the flower designs, but they can still be told apart. As you can see, many discoveries have already taught us a lot about how the Saka used to live. But the finds keep coming, and in 2018, Dr. Sametchev and his team made yet another one. They had been working in the Tarbagatai Mountains, which are close to Kazakhstan's border with China. 2 teenagers. In more detail, the team was working in a valley on one of the 200 or so kurgans that had been found in the area. This particular kurgan was different though. Inside the graveyard were the bodies of 2 teenagers who lived between 2007 and 100 years ago. The grave goods that were buried with them showed that these were not your average teens. Many valuable things found in this graveyard lead us to think that a man and a woman are buried there. The people who are ruling are the most important people in Saka society. Dr. Sametchev is said to have said that the 2 finds are the bodies of some very important people. The person who found the kurgan has definitely said that. The head of the Margulin Institute of Archaeology, Dr. Smash, says that the 2 finds are the remains. The man could not have been more than 19 years old when she died. An arrow with bronze tips, a quiver wrapped in gold, and a dagger made of gold and bronze were all found with the young man's body. Besides that, he was buried with a torque collar, which is stiff and made of gold. Both of the victims were buried in expensive clothes with gold beads around their necks. When one material is used to cover another, this is called an apleek. In this case, the apleeks looked like big-horned deer head calves. A place where treasures are hiding. The young woman's grave had been broken into at some point, but the man's grave didn't look like it had been touched. Still, the graves were found to have about 3,000 artifacts in them, and many of them were made of gold. Many pieces of jewelry, like bell-shaped earrings and necklaces set with valuable stones, were found by Sametchev and his team. There were also golden rings, plates, and plaques in the treasure trove. Scientists also talked about how skilled the people who made these beautiful things had to be. For example, the golden bead that was on the teen's clothes was a great example. For example, trained craftsmen used very advanced micro-soldering techniques, which most people think would have been very unusual for this time period. They came to the conclusion that this kind of advanced technology would have been unique for its time. An author and former Prime Minister of Kazakhstan named Daniel Akhmetov was quoted in the Daily Mail as saying that these discoveries are very important for knowing his country's history. He is also said to have said, "This find changes the way we think about our people's history and shows that we come from great people and great technologies." Many kurgans have been broken into over the years, including a few that were emptied during the reign of Peter the Great, Tsar of Russia in the 1800s. However, there may still be many more riches from the Saka people's time that have yet to be found. A well-known Kazakh archaeologist named Yerban Aralbi was quoted by the Daily Mail as saying that there are a lot of grave mounds here and that the opportunities are huge. More evidence of the advanced culture of the nomadic Saka people has also been found. This, along with a story in the New York Times in March 2012 that talked about this very topic, has caused people to rethink their views on historical nomads. The study says that people who lived in towns and cities looked down on nomads as far back as the ancient Greeks. Modern historians, on the other hand, have been fighting this idea. The large amount of wealth found in Saka kurgans shows that these people were not less important than city dwellers. The complexity of their jewelry and their mastery of advanced technologies make it necessary to rethink how we see them, taking into account more than just their wandering way of life. Graves says that the problem needs to be looked at again. Thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe to help us out.